What's going on, Eurovoxers? Sveikas Lietuva. Alvis, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Of course, today we're talking Lithuania. I almost said Latvia because I know that you're from Latvia. But it's Lithuania. After three heats, two semifinals, we are finally at the final. Eight songs have been shortlisted. It's going to be one of them who are going to Rotterdam to represent Lithuania. So let's find out who it is. So one of the things that sets Lithuania's selection apart from the others is that they show the results from every show at the end after they've selected the qualifiers. So we already have a little bit of insight as to how this could go, but of course anything is possible. Alvis, based on what you've seen, how do you feel about these 8 songs that have made it this far?
About 8 songs, I would say that at least 6 of them are basically very good songs. People, the jury basically matched up with the voting. The rest two at least are toss of a coin, basically, which got more successful, lucky enough to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm. Have there been any songs that you really liked that unfortunately got left behind in a heat or a semifinal?
My favorite two. Well, my thoughts should have gone go to the final are Gabrielis Vagelis Tavečerandu.
Mm-hmm.
We feel sorry for him. Didn't go well with the votes
Mm-hmm.
and the jury as well. Basically, for me as an international fan, I loved the song. It was influenced Lithuanian. Maybe staging was a bit weak, but I thought he in the semifinal one fixed that, but basically jury probably didn't much care about it.
Mm-hmm. It seemed
Uh,
that this one was a favorite for a few people actually, because I remember this had come up in some people's top lists. Yeah, I guess it just didn't have the impact that some of the other ones had because it didn't, as you mentioned, it didn't fare too well with the jury or the public.
yeah.
Only enough to get to the semifinal, unfortunately. For me, one of the songs that I would have loved to see in the final, but unfortunately got left behind just by a hair, was Baltos Varnos. I can't say the name of the song, but if I had to guess, I would say Namu Devasya. Which, if I'm being honest, I do admit that it probably wasn't the most competitive song, but it was just one that I liked. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Enya, and that kind of new age music from the 90s that was just very calm and serene. And sometimes it's not necessarily about winning; it's just about finding music that you like. So as much as I'm disappointed that it's not in the final, I'm at least glad that it made it to the semifinal. But enough about what didn't happen. Let's talk about who actually has a chance. So first and foremost, this song is getting a lot of love. This actually pulled in twice as many televotes in its semifinal than the song that came second with televoting. And that, of course, is The Roop with On Fire. Alvis, tell me about your feelings about this one.
This song, this is very cheesy, kinky, whatever you want to call it. This is basically my one of my favorites, my personal second favorite.
Hmm.
Just after we came from the sun with Ruta Loop, this could really stand out in a tough semi-final one for Lithuania. It won't be any white flag, of course. And I hope jury make their minds and go with the Loop, basically.
And that's really what it comes down to, because it seems that despite all the love that they're getting from the public, it's not that this song isn't being appreciated by the juries at all, but it usually falls short of the top spot. And I think that there are certainly a lot of great things about this song. It's got, the really quirky dancing, really great beat. I love the production on this one. The thing that kind of kills it for me is this one lyrical cliche that we've heard so often at Eurovision: fire, desire, higher. It kind of kills the vibe for me. I know that that's not the case for everyone.
Yeah.
And I also wonder too that if this was to go to Rotterdam, would it be a little bit too weird for some people? How do you feel about that?
Ah, I don't know actually. Could be weird.
Mhm.
this could be the moment when people could like it, but when you like it, I don't want to vote for it. It will be mixed. Of course, there will be haters. Will say it's bad. We're funny dancing. We're dancing.
I'm all about the dancing. I want to do the whole thing and whatever they've inspired these movements by. I'm totally into it.
When you will do interview with Roop in Rotterdam, ask him to learn you.
Yeah, to teach me the dance. Yeah, that's totally what I'm gonna do. I think it's pretty safe to say that there are two other heavyweights in terms of how we've seen the voting go. So next, let's talk about Monique with her song "Make Me Human." This one is certainly really captivating. How do you feel about Monique's song?
Well, for me, let's go inside my body. Like it's basically could be my favorite to go. Actually, if they send this song, I think that's for sure qualifier. It's robotic. Those robot dances still to be questionable, but we got the time for changes till Rotterdam, of course.
Mhm.
This song gives me chills for real. This is not bad choice for Lithuania as well, but I don't get it. The judges. This was the second place, right runner up after Monica Maria. If I leave,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't agree with the second place. This one over me. Monica, maybe
Mhm.
maybe it was first. You know.
Well, we'll get to Monica in a second, but
Yes.
certainly that is an important thing to mention because they were, of course, facing each other in the second semifinal last Saturday, and as the voting system works, it tends to favor the jury points because they tied with their overall score, but because of their system, it was Monica Maria that came ahead of Monique, which does make me a little bit concerned about whether or not this could get killed by the same thing. I don't know if the system is different in the final, um, but definitely a very captivating song. I think this is probably the one that is the most well-rounded in the sense that it's captivating. It's got compelling lyrics. I really like her breathy voice,
Yes.
and visually, there's been a lot of thought put into how she's communicating the song and how it will all look with the colors and the backdrop and the little glowing heart that she has.
Yes.
I love how much thought was put into this, and I think that this would probably be Lithuania's safest choice if they wanted to
Yes.
qualify for the final.
For sure.
Make me open up my eyes and see.
So now let's talk about the other heavyweights. As we already alluded to before when we were talking about Monique, it's of course Monica Maria with her song "If I Leave." A lot of fans remember her as the favorite from last year, who unfortunately lost out to Yurius Vuklenko. What are your thoughts on the song that she's bringing this year?
This year is relatively weaker, definitely. When year before it was more emotional, this more like generic. If this goes to Rotterdam, this won't stand out. This is a white flag for Lithuania. Juries, I hope juries won't screw this up and send other like Group or Monique. Monique, this is okay. Take the positives. This is a positive song. This is a more country. Netherlands love country songs based in Eurovision.
Mhm.
Um, this is pleaser to my ears, of course. What else? Oh, she's a sweet girl as well.
Yeah, of
Love her
course.
smile.
Yeah,
Love her smile.
yeah. We always want sweet nice people to be
Yeah.
doing well. I think that one thing that is for sure, like nobody can dispute that this is performed very very well. Vocally there aren't really any issues. musically, it's very sound. It's very pleasing, as you mentioned. I think for me, like it does come off as a bit generic. For me, I think of it as kind of like 90s adult contemporary, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because I do like that style. But again, considering some of the songs that have already been selected to go to Rotterdam from other countries, I just don't know if this will be written off, kind of like Latvia's song from last year, which of course had a bit of a throwback to older lounge style music. I think that could be a similar fate for this. But again, the performance is there, and the juries are favoring this, as we mentioned before, that they chose this slightly ahead of Monique's song. So it could be the one.
If you leave one day, better make sure you better make sure. Baby, I'll be there, be there.
So as much as those songs have probably the best chance at representing Lithuania in Rotterdam, there are another 5 that could pull in a big surprise. Let's start with Ruta Loop, We Came From the Sun. I understand that, Alvis, you really like this song.
Yes, of course. I love this from first hearing. Sorry, the Ruta Loop is my favorite. If you're watching Ruta this, I hope you win. I hope you win. You go to Rotterdam. Please, people, vote for her. This song has most complete choreography, of course. I love her dancing. I love the breakdown, of course. Oh my god.
Yeah, this could be. I mean, I think again, as much as the chances are a little bit more slim, I think that this will probably get a good result. It's got, as you mentioned, the choreography. It's definitely got a good dance number with it. It's something that people could enjoy. They'll be dancing at home. It's got a catchy melody. Yeah, it's maybe if it was in a different year, this would be the one. But maybe we'll see Ruta come back with something else, something of this vibe that packs the punch a little bit more and goes through to the end.
We are from the sun, we are from the sun. Ooh, 'cause we came from the sun, we are from the sun.
There is one that stood out to me from the first heat for the really weird quirkiness of it, and it's the song Drip by Me and I. This one, I know that this is not everyone's taste, and I think that if the production wasn't so good, and if it wasn't like it's clear that he's playing a character, he's not really being himself when he's singing this song. I probably wouldn't like it as much as I do, but I actually do. And the thing that actually surprises me as well is that the juries have really respected this song a lot more than the televoters, which I would have thought it would have been the other way around. But I guess that speaks to the production of it. How do you feel about Me and I?
It's very interesting. I don't actually love it, but I don't actually hate it. It's got a kinky, funky vibe from him. Very colorful, of course. The character is awesome. I hope it does well. I hope it doesn't come last.
So one other song that could pose a possible threat to these supposed 3 heavyweights is the song Unbreakable by Aiste. She, of course, topped the jury vote in her semifinal. Your thoughts on Unbreakable?
My general thoughts are this is very generic. This is very predictable Eurovision song, very poppy. Those songs are millions. In Eurovision, it won't stand out except the light show, which she gives basically in the national final. If she wins, that's a white flag. Sorry, Lithuanian fans. This is a white flag.
Well, it is important to mention, however, that she does perform it really well. I think that jury score, despite how the song is perhaps not the most modern, I think that her performance certainly saves it. And I think that, especially since we've seen that in the other semifinal where it was Monica Maria who won over Monique in terms of the jury vote, I think that that's certainly telling us how the jury thinks about these things. So not an unworthy performance, I would say, but I do agree with you in the sense that it's really not going to be strong enough if this does end up getting chosen to go to Rotterdam. And perhaps if the votes are split so much between those three big songs that Aiste has the best average, then it could be her.
I believe in love.
Another one that has certainly gotten the attention of some fans would be Keira's song with Alligator. How do you feel about that one?
Kyra is very more for like I don't want to say childish. Okay, I will say more colorful, more. She more interacts with the public. Shows some parts from her music video, of course. What else? Basically, nothing else. This won't be last. People stay back for this. Um, any age group for sure will like this. For sure. Of course, more haters like the Rope and Monique haters, if they are, will vote for Kyra if there's a chance, because what that doesn't suit Eurovision format, but who cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I certainly agree with you in the sense how you mentioned the color, because it's certainly a very colorful performance, and I'm glad that we're seeing a song that is able to bring the music video, the elements from the music video, onto the stage in a way that works. I have to admit though that this song isn't really doing enough for me. I've heard it more than once, but I actually I've forgotten the melody, and normally I don't like when people use that as like their only criticism, but I do think that it's lacking a little bit of oomph to make it stand out. I think I really like Keira on stage. I think she's really magnetic. Perhaps it's just a matter of maybe this song isn't appropriate for a contest like this one, but at least she's made it this far and has had the opportunity to promote herself.
Dreaming in Hawaii, come on! I'm an alligator. I'll be your gladiator. I can be your personal marionette. And don't be such a hater.
Finally, the last song to talk about would be The Backs with Fully. This one is quite interesting to me because it is a little bit of a gospel pop song, and as we've seen at Eurovision lately, those kinds of songs have been doing really well. I'm not really sure if this one is comparable to those ones. Of course, I'm thinking of Cesar Sampson with Nobody But You and John Lundvik with Too Late for Love, and those were certainly a lot more anthemic, whereas this one is a little bit more subdued and laid back, but great harmonies, I have to say. I do really enjoy the harmonic mixing of their voices, so it's certainly very pleasant, but I just don't think it's a very competitive. How do you feel about this one?
Basically, didn't much care about them. Well, of course, one thing is I should say the gospel is great for sure. Stage presence, meh. Attires, costumes, or whatever. Meh. That was a little bit a mess. I didn't know the message of it, what they tried to do with the attire for. Basically, that's it. What's all can I say about the stage?
Well, best of luck to them. Maybe this will be a sign for them to come back in the future and tear the roof off.
For sure.
I'm dreaming. I'm scared to live life fully. It's more. I'm my own devil.
All right, so those are the 8 songs. Alvis, let me know, what do you think is going to be the winning song?
It's a tough. Of course, it's between the Roop or Monique. But like it's maybe difficult. It's more mind says it should be Monique, and my heart says it's a Ru. Uh, I go with Monique as the winner just because it's a more safe choice. It will get more jury appeal and public. It's a 50-50 if she wins. Basically, Roop will possibly win the public vote, but jury she wins a jury.
I think based on how much of a landslide victory the public vote was for the Roop, I think that it's pretty safe to say that they're going to win it. Of course, I suppose that because this is the final, it will be a larger audience, so anything is possible. But I think that they're certainly going to come ahead with the televote. The big question is between Monica Maria and Monique, which one will have the highest average? Because we know that Monica Maria is topping or is leading Monique in the jury votes as well. So perhaps it could split the difference. And if Monique is the one who lands in the second spot for both systems, then she might be up top. But I don't think that it's set in stone. It certainly could be Monica Maria. I know that lots of people would be really happy if it was the Roop. And then, of course, the shenanigans could throw all that out, and it could be someone else.
One favorite is the Roop, other favorite is Monique. In the end, Monica Maria wins.
Yeah, exactly. But so those have been our thoughts, guys. What do you think? Which one do you think is going to be representing Lithuania at the Eurovision Song Contest in Rotterdam? Leave us a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Reach out to us at eurovoxx.net, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
Bye.